Hi everyone, Brian Rhodes here. Well, we've done it. We've now published all 72 scenes of our feature film screenplay, Better-Left-Unsaid, on SteemFilm, our site on Steemit. I hope you've had a chance to read along with all of the scenes. The final few scenes were published the other day. Of course, in the final few scenes, we covered what we call the finale, and of course the final scene. As I've mentioned to you all along in my writer's comments, and of course this being the final of the writer's comments, there is a shape to a screenplay that really should be followed as much as possible if you're going to effectively tell your story. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a substantial amount of originality that can be taken in the writing of a screenplay, but for the most part, you know, things do happen at particular times to sort of keep the audience's interest. And that's what I've been trying to do here, to point out to you those moments in a screenplay, in the shape of a screenplay that I've alluded to earlier, those moments that certain things should happen. This final writer's comment will cover what we call the finale and the final scene. The finale is where you tie everything together. It begins pretty well in this screenplay with Charlie calling Harriet, his agent, when his back is against the wall, seeking her help. She comes in and she kind of straightens him out, lays it out for him what he's got to do, and he accepts that and goes about doing it. The important part of this finale and the final scene is not only to tie all the loose ends together, but to maybe emphasize the reveals for the audience. By the reveals, the sort of solutions, the moral to the story, so to speak, that are being suggested by the screenplay. In this case, it's really both Charlie's moment and Boston's moment. They both have to make changes in their lives because it is a rite of passage, quite frankly, for both of them. That's the basic story here. And so the final scene, which is Charlie's, more than Boston's, although both are in it, the final scene is really emphasizing Charlie's change, 180 degrees from where he started out. If you recall, he started out a drunk. He was very unhappy, guilt-ridden, just literally living aimlessly, so to speak, and without little hope, or with little hope. And as a result, we realize that if this is going to be his story at the end, he has to change. And in this case, he does. He realizes that he had to face his demons. He did face his demons. He did reach his goal, and his goal was to be reunified with his son. And in this case, not only emotionally and spiritually, but also symbolically, by being on stage at the end of the screenplay. But it's also very much Boston's story too. You may recall in the All Is Lost section of the screenplay, when nothing seemed to be going right for Charlie at all and everything was against him, or the bad guys close in, I should say, that period of time. Boston made it very clear that he hated his father. Well, Boston demonstrates something as well, forgiveness. He really, I guess, didn't hate his father at all, or if he did, he certainly has forgiven him, because he does reach out to his father, as does his father him, and all is forgiven. So I guess maybe that's the moral of the story. Actually, the theme of the story is you reap what you sow, but the moral of the story is forgiveness, I guess. And as a result, Charlie, in the last few moments, has become, a completely different person, celebrating, his son and his relationship with son on stage. I thought a fitting ending. I can tell you that I did have another ending that I was going to go with, until I felt that it had to be more celebratory than otherwise. In my first writing of the screenplay, I actually had Charlie passing away, and it was Boston's jubilation by going on stage, singing with his band, his now new band, and working with Charlie's agent, Harriet. But somehow or another that just didn't seem right, and it certainly didn't give us a good happy ending for Charlie, and so hence I rewrote it, and as you've read now, I think a much better ending. So now we finished the screenplay. If you can, I ask you to go back and read it from beginning to end, all in one read. I think you'll get a better feel for the journey that everyone's on in this screenplay, and will certainly refresh in your mind all the points that now we have to take into consideration with the next steps of the screenplay, and that's to start finalizing the bits and pieces vis-a-vis casting, getting the final bits of money together, locking down the final script, looking forward to a shoot sometime late February or March of next year. I'm going to take a little bit of a respite here in terms of my posts. I'm taking on an assignment, a shoot in Montreal, that will take me a little bit of a time. I think I mentioned to you previously in one of the writer's comments that I get to play a bad guy, which is something I relish and don't get a chance to often play. So I'm looking forward to that. But I am going to now start taking you, hopefully step by step, with posts, maybe every 2 or 3 days, so that you can see now or get insight on what we have to do next to bring this screenplay to life. Okay, so that's about it for now. I thank you for reading the screenplay, and I look forward to any comments that you might offer at any time on any of the posts that we make. Okay, so until we talk again, take care, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye now.